Hi everyone, I have just finished off the other two purple flowers. I think I actually did some of the purples in the wrong order because I didn't re-watch my video and make sure that I did it correctly, but I'm pleased with how they've all turned out. I made a decision while I was colouring them that I would colour all the leaves in this particular section in the same set of colours. So we used the Viridian, Castle Arts Viridian Phthalo Green and Phthalo Green Light with a bit of black. So I'm going to keep that the same. The reason for that is that sometimes I find if you have too many different colours, if I have too many different colours, it can look a bit of a mess. So I thought I would just limit my colour palette somewhat. You know, we've already used quite a lot of different shades of purple and we're now going to move on to a different colour. I'm going to use these purples. Now, although Castle calls these purples, to me they're quite deep pinks. And we have, this one is called Purple, well, this one is called Purple Light, and we have an Aubergine, which is a darker shade. And I'm going to use these three down here. I shall zoom in a minute on these flowers. Now this type of flower can be a little bit tricky to work out what to do with. I know in some books, I think in Ivy and in Ivy there is a whole page with lots of these, and there are really two ways that I approach it. I either go darker to light across the petal, darker to light with a light piece in the middle, which I might try today, or I do each petal separately with the darker edge to emphasize the lines between them. Now that can be quite nice, but these are a little bit small in my opinion for doing that. So I'm going to do what I said, which is do dark, center and edge, and we'll work from there. So I'm just sharpening my Aubergine, which is where I'm going to start. Oh, I hope you can see that. And we're going to do both of these two the same, and I might work on both at the same time just because it's easier for me, because there's only two and it helps me not to forget what I'm doing. So the aim here is to get most layers of colour in towards the centre of the flower, and then less as you go out. And you see I'm sort of overlapping and then doing a sort of throwaway movement which reduces the amount of colour as we go in. It might look a little messy, we may have to blend or go over a few times, but that's the centre, and we'll do the same on this one. So I hope you're all good today, all well. I had a lovely walk this morning. I went along my canal on my way back from shopping. I'm so lucky we live so close to the canal. It's quite funny actually, because in the house we lived in before, we rented a flat in a completely different town. Well, my husband was working there and I moved in with him. So you can see I'm doing a similar-ish thing. I'm not doing that throwaway movement, but I'm trying to get more layers on the outside and then less in the middle. We will probably do a few layers of colour at least, so it'll build up. I just see how it looks, because this might be a little bit harsh and dark compared to the others. So yeah, in the house that we were renting before, we were near a canal there as well. So we've been very lucky. I think I'll do a little bit there. It's a little bit tricky because it's cut off by the edge, and we'll go around the edge of this one too. So we've really enjoyed that. And today I saw some moorhens, very often do, and they make a cute little squawk. Apparently they're quite nasty because they eat other birds' eggs, but I like them. They're cute, and I just think, well, that's nature, isn't it? Sadly, it's just the way it is. And then I saw some great tits, which was nice. And I'm gonna get my next colour, which is the purple. And I'm actually going to go right over the top of what I've done already and just extend that colour towards the centre. Not too far. I've got another shade to fit in. It's quite a small flower. So yeah, I saw some great tits. I saw a robin, which is always nice. I see them all year round with their little red chests, but we sort of associate them with Christmas. But there's some sort of UK rumour that postmen used to wear red blazers or waistcoats or something, and that they got called, and that's where the robin redbreast thing came from. But I don't know if it's just one of these sort of urban myths or whether it's really true. I think it depends, you know, people aren't always really sure about the origin of these things, and the reason for putting robins on like Christmas cards was to represent the postman rather than the robin, but I'm not sure. I do like their the red is always a nice Christmassy colour, although I gather that red Father Christmas was something that came from Coca-Cola, but apparently before Coca-Cola he wore green and they put him in red, but I don't know. It's a nice Christmassy colour. I don't drink Coca-Cola, so purple light. It's I don't do bubbles, they don't really suit me. I'm going to take this all the way in to the middle. I don't want any white, completely white, but I'm going to really reduce the pressure to get it quite light in that centre. I want quite a contrast between the outside and the centre. Oh, I've just had a notification on my computer, which I've got on. I keep it on while I'm recording. I can just keep an eye on what's going on in case my children send me a message. I have to go and attend to them. Obviously they come first. And anyway, my aunt always plays Words with Friends with me, and she's given me a nudge because I haven't had my turn, so I shall have a look at that later. It's a fun little game, isn't it? I do like playing Scrabble. Gosh, I'm dropping the brand names today, but this is alternative. I used to play with my dad as well, but he prefers playing Scrabble, and I don't have that. He plays it on his device and with my mum at lunchtime. It's quite fun. They used to do it when they were out. They used to eat out a lot. And when they were waiting for their food, they'd pop on their phone and they'd play a bit of Scrabble. And now they don't eat out. They haven't eaten out since COVID came along, really, which I'm pleased about because, you know, it's not always safe for them to be out socialising like that. I mean, they're only on their own table. They don't meet other people very often, but it's still, you know, a risk. And anyway, but they've taken to playing Scrabble at home while they're eating instead, so they can still have some fun. Now this is all quite rough and ready, but I'm going to do a second layer. That was always the plan. Sometimes it's nice to put down a base layer and then have a look and see if it's working. Also, I think building up layers slowly can be better. So we're back with our aubergine and back in that centre, just adding another layer of colour. Yeah, so they play Scrabble. So he doesn't play Words with Friends with me anymore. I think also he used to think I cheated. I used to switch on the thing there's a thing on there which tells you what the highest scoring word is that you can get. It doesn't tell you the word, it says you could score, it sort of says you could score more points if you did a different move when you put your move down. So I used to switch this on and then I think, oh, it says I can score twice as many points as I've got here, so I would go and look for a better word, and he used to say I was cheating. But I can't do that anymore. You have to pay for that function, which is all very well. Very much for companies trying to make a bit of money. You know, obviously, you don't expect them to provide everything for free. You've got to pay their staff. But I can't get that free function. And although I'm saying I'm happy for them to make money, I'm not paying. I don't pay for things like games. I don't pay for games like that. Online games. I don't pay for moves, for lives, or for bits and bobs. I don't believe in doing that. There's so many free options, so I just use those. Okay, now again with the purple. I know people who do pay for these things, and I'm not sure whether it's really worth it. I guess if none of it was free, then I might, you know, but because there's free, it's like my boys used to say, I want to buy this game for my phone and this game, and I used to say to them, right, you play every free game that's available, and then you can buy one. And they never did. But now they're a little bit older, they know what they like and dislike. My son's just bought, for his birthday, he had Civ 6, which he had a lot of fun out of, I have to say. He hasn't played it lately, but he may do in the holidays, because I'm recording this before the Christmas holidays. So he will have a lot more time. Just trying to move my head, because as I build up the layers of pencil, they start to shine in my light. What I'm trying to do now is think about, do I want this white line here? It's giving us a nice sense of depth. Down here we've got, it looks quite dark, so I don't want to eliminate it completely, but I'm just trying to work out how much of it I want to leave, really. I don't want it to look too messy. So yes, he has good fun with his games. Both my boys like their games. They're very much into Minecraft, which we also bought them. And I don't know if we bought them any mods, whether they just got free ones, I can't remember. But they got a new computer. They're gaming computers they got for Christmas. Oh my. They arrived yesterday. It's the 16th. Today I think I'm going to leave that little white line. You don't have to, you might decide you don't want it that defined, but I think I'm going to leave it. But what I'm very happy with how deep these look in the centre, but on the outside I feel like I want a little more definition, so I'm going to go back in with my aubergine and just darken those up just a little bit more. I want to make it look a little bit like those are turning inwards if I can. It might be difficult because of the way it's drawn, but I'm just going to try one more layer and see if I can do that. So yes, their gaming computers are absolutely enormous things. The boxes were so big, oh my. The man delivering them couldn't get them through my front door. He had to turn them round. In the one direction they were too wide to fit through the door. And I was, oh my goodness. And then my husband had to carry them upstairs. But I said, take it out of the box first, because there must be a lot of packaging. There was quite a lot of packing material, which is always really good when you spend a lot of money on something, to see that it's well packed. Now I finished doing that bit. I'm trying to think about what to do for the centres of these two. I want them to be dark because we already look like we're looking down inside the plant, so I want it dark. I'm actually going to start with the aubergine actually and do a layer of that, and then have a think about what I want to do. I can hear bins. It's bin day. Right, I think we need something a little bit darker. I think I might go for that Prussian Blue. I don't know if you saw the previous video. We used a little bit in here to enhance that. I think that might just work. So I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Might be a bit dark for you. You could try, I don't really have any darker pinks, so maybe a purple rather than blue you might be happier with, but I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do in my own time is do these in exactly the same way as these. I'm not going to show you again. As I say, I think too much repetition get a little bit dull for you. And I've also decided that these flowers here, I'll do the same as these, just because, oops, gosh, let me zoom out, you can see better. They look similar. I don't want too many different colours on this page. I think it's quite nice, and also the balance, if we've got that the same and that the same, it gives us a little bit of balance, and this one will be different. So I think I might, let me have a look. As I say, all the greens are going to be the same as these, so I will do those when I do these. I will do these as well, and I'll probably do all the green. I've got to decide what colours to do these other flowers. I think I'm going to go for some pinks, but I haven't got loads of pinks left, so I'm going to have a little think. We could do a pink purple mashup, but also, are these part of this or are they separate? This is a question my brain is asking me, you know, which is which? I don't know. So that's something I'm thinking about really. I think I will do them differently because it will just break up this big area of purple if we have something pink in here. But I've got to think about, maybe I'll do some blue for these. Pink here, blue here, maybe I'll have a little think, and maybe once I've done these pink ones I'll know. So should we do one of these pink ones, because they'll all be the same, although they are slightly different, they'll all be the same design. I'm just having a look at what I've got. I've taken a pink out of my Monet set, so I've got this, this is the Opera Rose, I don't know, it's quite pale. And then I've got these other colours here. So we've got a rose pink, a grenadine light and a cherry pink, and those all look fairly similar. And I've also got this Japer pink, which is quite dark. So I'm going to go with the lighter pinks. I think I might just go with the rose and the Opera Rose actually on this and see how it works. Getting my pencils in a right muddle, never mind. And I'm going to go darker at the bottom of the, I need to sharpen that, it's a little bit blunt. So darker at the bottom. I can zoom in a little bit for you. See how we go. There we go. So a bit darker down here. So I'm going to put plenty of layers down here and then start to reduce that as we go up. I think we'll just fade towards the tip on this one. We might make them a little bit different to each other, like we faded towards the tip on this one, so as well. I'm a bit confused by these. We've got that, but not on there. I may just ignore that. As you can see, I'm just layering up a little bit more at the bottom and just fading it up, really. It's quite simple. And then I have the rose pink here. Oops. So I'm overlapping and taking that. The colours are quite similar. I quite like it's quite pale, which is quite different to the other colours that we've got going on here, which I like. I think having that contrast is rather nice. And I think with this stem here, I probably won't use too much of the really dark. I may not use any black or too much of the darker greens because it's a paler colour. Now what I want to do with that, I don't want to get it much darker, so I'm going to use the titanium white, which you can't see, to try and sort of put some, lighten it a little bit. Whites don't always, it's not working. Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to use this white instead. Just sharpen it. This is a Caran D'Ache Luminance, whoops, white, Blanc, and it works very, very nicely. I think it's sort of on par with the Prisma white, but I'm not sure. I'm sure you would expect it to be better considering the price, but I haven't actually tried a Prisma white, to be fair. And it will just lighten that tip a little bit for us. I'm actually going to use a blending pencil to finish that off. I'm just scribbling my blending pencil on my scrap of paper to get rid of some of the purple that was on it from where we blended this. And then I'm just going to go through and blend it up, and hopefully we can see a transition from a dark to a light pink. And it's quite simple, but that's the idea. Let's give that a little brush. There we go. So I'm going to do the other two of these in the same way, and I just thought I would just show you that one. So that is two of our pinks. What I'm going to do is finish these and then come back to you with a final video with these. So hopefully that will be good for you. I'm finding it quite fun, this page. It's It's nice to go back and do some pinks and purples after lots of Christmassy colours, although they're quite cold wintry colours. And you could, if you want to make it look Christmassy, you could outline them all with a bit of silver glitter pen and make it look a bit frosty. Or you could do a silver background, which would make it look frosty. Anyway, I'm going to go and finish off and have some fun and chill and colour, and then I'm going to come back. Not that I'm not chilled now, but I'm just going to rest my voice and then come back and finish it off for you at a later date. So hopefully you can pick up that video when it comes out and have a watch. So thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.